Shalom, bruchim habaim, welcome to this lesson. In this lesson, we are going to focus on the verbs for to collapse. Collapse was the main subject of last week's weekly lesson, where we talked about cliffs collapsing alongside the Israeli coastline and the danger this poses to the public. So in this video, we are going to learn which are the two verbs we can use for to collapse and which one are we going to use for expressions like I was about to collapse. Things like those. Okay, grab a coffee, get comfy, and we will look into it. So here we are. As I already said, in Hebrew, we use two different verbs to express to collapse. Now, why is that? Because here we have basically two scenarios or two, let's say, ideas in our head. What is collapsing and how? Now let's have a look. Scenario number one. It is something that is happening suddenly and is structurally. Stay with me. I know it sounds super technical, but when I give you the examples, you will get a feeling for it. Now, in scenario number two, we are talking about instability. It might also be internal. It is more dramatic. It is newsworthy. So this is why the second verb you find a lot on the news. Now, this is the comparison of the two ideas. And now we will see what kind of verbs we can actually make for each of them. The first one is based on the root kuf resh samech, and the other one is based on mem vav tet. So we start with the first one, and from here we make the verb likross. This is pa'al, and this is a very standard and regular pa'al verb, likross. So here comes a sentence from the weekly lesson. Part of the cliff collapsed. חלק מהמצוק קרס. Standard, regular, לקרוס, פעל, קרס. Okay, now, if you want to say something more colloquial, something between your friends, and you're talking about for you dramatic situation you went through, and you want to say something like, I was about to collapse. I nearly collapsed. So then you can say, for example, עוד שנייה קרסתי. עוד שנייה is, in colloquial Hebrew, translated into English as it nearly happened. So another second and this would have happened. So עוד שנייה קרסתי. I collapsed. Okay, so now we will look at the second scenario. But before that, let me remind you, if you want weekly Hebrew exposure for all levels with video, audio, and a strong focus on verbs, stop this video right now, go to HebrewVerbs.com/weekly and download the free lesson. Okay, now we go to the second verb. Scenario number two is based on the root mem, vav, tet. Have a close look. Not tav. This root is not related in any way to death or dying. Lamut, that is with tav. Here we are in tet at the end. Okay? And we come to להתמוטט in hitpael. Personally, I love this verb. I absolutely love it. I like these kind of complicated things, and this is probably the reason I'm in that job anyway. They call me the verb queen. There must be a reason for that. I'm not expecting you to fall in love with this, but let me explain, because you're probably wondering, what is this second tet doing here? Good question. I make it short. We need to preserve the character and the sound pattern of the verbs. And sometimes certain letters, like here vav, messes this up. Since we need this at the end, or from Piel, well, we already had o and vav and chaos. So another tet at the end solves the problem that we get into להתמוטט. Okay, so להתמוטט. Let's stop right here because we do not want to study the origins of letters. We move on. The next question is, why is it in Hitpael anyway? Because isn't Hitpael the binyan where things are between two people on the same level, like to correspond or something? So why on earth are we in Hitpael? So here, you will see in a minute, we have Hitpael and we have Piel. I talked about two verbs, but actually we can make three verbs out of it. You will see in a second. Hitpael is because the process of collapsing is what you are doing. Let's say you are the building. It's a stupid example, I know. It's not that something is causing you to collapse. Then we move to PL. I will show you examples. So here in Hitpael, it was not caused. It is you are collapsing for whatever reason. Okay. Now, in PL, this is when it is caused to collapse. Then it is למוטט. And here you see we have the same issue with double tet. Now, the building collapsed after the explosion. We are talking about what the building is doing, the one that is collapsing. And here we use hitpael. הבניין התמוטט אחרי הפיצוץ. Okay? If we turn the sentence around and we say the explosion collapsed the building, we are not talking about the building that is collapsing. We are talking about the explosion that caused the collapse. And this is why here we use PL. הפיצוץ מוטט את הבניין. מוטט. This is PL past tense. Seriously? Yes, seriously. I mean, that is a subject for the big verb course. That is a completely different story. My verb course, I tell you one thing, will absolutely end your confusion about verbs. But here in this video, we want to focus on what kind of verb we are using, and that is a different story, why this is PL. That's for another video. So let's come to the summary. You have scenario 1, you have scenario 2, and when it is more dramatic, let's say an explosion causes a building to collapse or collapses a building, when it is newsworthy, you are rather in להתמוטט, and when it is just collapsing, then it is the simple one, so to speak, לקרוס. Okay, and also when it is something like ochnia, karasti, things like those, things that were not reported in the news. This is not an exact difference, but this is more the idea, and I hope it helps you at least to understand when people are saying these two verbs. They both mean to collapse. Okay, thank you guys. Thanks for being here and for watching my videos. If you like it, give it a thumb up, subscribe. It helps me a lot. And don't forget to go to the website and download the free lesson of the weekly Hebrew lessons. I see you in the next video. Shalom.